Welcome back to another episode of SOS Discussions. And the Houston Rockets have struggled mightily since trading James Harden to the Nets. And now it seems like with the trade deadline approaching, they may be sellers again. And one name that has continuously popped up is Victor Oladipo. And even though he came back, or came to Houston rather, from that trade, he might be leaving again. What do you guys think? Should they trade him? If so, where's he going to go? I'm going to start off with Anthony.
Right now, if I just would really think about it, what else does the Houston Rockets really have to advertise? John Wall, because DeMarcus Cousins is gone now. So if you trade Oladipo, that is your tank. You're tanking, and who are you tanking for? If you think that there's somebody coming down the pipeline that you feel like could change your entire franchise, I don't see it. And then you're going to have to trust the lottery to get number one picks to get said person. Tanking is not a science. It's not like the NFL where if you have the worst record, you get the highest pick. It's still a lottery. It's still a chance where you don't do that. So right now, I would say until they have a definite plan, keep Oladipo, keep John Wall, ride it out. They're not doing great right now, but honestly, I feel like they need coaching and they need to get rid of that general manager. I've been saying that forever. Nobody wants to listen to me. Need to get rid of the general manager. Build around John Wall, who seems like he's coming back from that injury. Build around Oladipo. Ride it out. But if you're going to trade Oladipo, trade him to a contender. Maybe, I know Philadelphia is not going to pull the trigger, unfortunately. Boston's definitely not going to pull the trigger, unfortunately, even though they should. Miami needs an influx of talent, to be honest. But they have Jimmy Butler at the same position. The Lakers, maybe, but what capital do the Lakers really have to give up? There's not a whole lot of places, unless you guys know something that I don't, where it's a good fit for not only Oladipo, but the Rockets and the other team. I feel like they should keep it.
Okay, I had no idea he was going to go that way with saying they should keep him. I thought we're all going to be on coordinates here. But when the Rockets traded away James Harden, I'm pretty sure they didn't try to get Victor Oladipo just to lose him in free agency eventually, or just to trade him when his trade value is even worse. I'm pretty sure they were getting Victor Oladipo instead of LeVert, because that was what everybody thought. They were going to get LeVert in the deal because that's the best trade asset the Brooklyn Nets had. And they got Oladipo. It must have been, in my opinion, we think we can bring Oladipo on board and get him and flip him for more value. I don't think there's any other way unless somehow John Wall and Victor Oladipo are clicking. Even if that was the case, even if we all know what kind of league we're in, if you don't have an A talent on your team and a really good 1A talent on your team, you're not winning a championship. So why trade away James Harden just to be 11th seed in the West? I mean, come on now. And they're 14th. I mean, 11th seed is a great record for them, or a great spot if things were to turn out right. So I look at the Houston Rockets. I feel as though John Wall is just filling space. He's playing good, gets the fans excited. They're not doing nothing with John Wall. Victor Oladipo deserves to go to a contender, deserves to go somewhere else. And even Houston deserves to get something in return for James Harden. Because truly, with Victor Oladipo on the roster, it means they really haven't gotten their investment back in the James Harden trade. So I believe Victor Oladipo should be out regardless. I don't think this should be a discussion. Houston really needs to fire their general manager if they don't trade Victor Oladipo. But I think the best spot for Victor Oladipo, where he can go and be that 1A, not really a 1, because we all know Victor Oladipo is not a good enough player to be number 1 on a championship team. We saw with the Pacers. We know that. What team needs a playmaker but already has their guy that is that 1A, that number 1 type of player that could lead a team to a championship but needs a playmaker? Dallas Mavericks. We all live in Dallas, Texas. Dallas Mavericks. Luka needs another playmaker to play off of him so he doesn't have – hey, man, this ain't nothing to do with my allegiance. Come on now. This is just straight up. I'm looking at the rosters. Luka needs another player to play with that can handle the rock, and he doesn't have to do it all the time. We look at what the Mavericks are doing and how the Mavericks have kind of picked up steam, and it's just Luka literally putting the whole Dallas Mavericks on his back and carrying. when we look at a lot of players, the only person I've really been seeing step it up is really Jalen Brunson. KP still isn't what he is. Shoot, he might be gone this year. But I think you bring in a Victor Oladipo, it's been an idea for a while. You give Victor Oladipo, he can run the point every now and then, Luka on the bench, but you put them together and you also have KP. It's a little mini big three, but Luka's still this top 5 player in the league. I think it's perfect. Anywhere else, I mean, I might as well just say the Knicks. I don't see anywhere else for him to go. I mean, we can make the Lakers comparison. I'm gonna leave that to anybody else. But I think it's like the Mavs or the Knicks. That's about it. And I think the Mavs would be a perfect spot for Victor Oladipo. Personally, I wanted Giannis to play with Luka, but that's no longer a thing. So let's get Victor Oladipo.
Okay, so I think that he should go to the Warriors. Like, the Warriors already, they barely got Draymond and stuff. So that's really it. They don't really have anybody else that's actually able to do anything for them, which will be good for Oladipo to actually go there. Like, I feel like he could give them what they're missing without Clay. Although they are missing a lot without Clay. But I feel like he'll be able to actually bring in, the points. He's averaging 19 points a game, 4.7 rebounds. Like, I mean, I feel like he'll be actually able to step it up for them. Like, actually put somebody else in the position besides just having to keep it on Steph and Draymond. And besides, Draymond can't keep his mouth shut anyway, so he's hardly ever playing. So might as well bring somebody in there that actually wants to play.
I actually really like that. And we know that the Warriors aren't opposed to taking a trial on anybody. We've seen how they handled Russell, fired him and then shipped him back out. And with Oladipo having an expiring contract, they would be actually an attractive destination for somebody who wants to play the back half of the season and maybe hit free agency and be able to choose where he wants to go. I like that.
That was a great take.
I like that.
By the way, it doesn't matter what trade happens, Daryl Morey needs to be fired. Okay. Whether they trade him, whether they don't trade him, whether they sign somebody, whether they don't sign somebody, fired. You're fired. Somebody needs to do it.
Daryl Morey isn't with the Houston Rockets anymore, is he?
No, he's with Philly. I thought he was with Philadelphia.
Okay, we're Philly now. Okay. Whoever the new GM, that's how bad he was. So whoever the new GM needs to be fired as well. He's doing all right in Philly. He's doing all right in Philly right now. But that new GM needs to be fired again after the first year. That sucks.
There you have it.
Wait, let me just ask. Let me ask Anthony. What? I just really want to know, what moves have the Rockets messed up on? I really want to know. What else were they supposed to do?
All right, you don't like a lot of their contracts were so bad. Like,
okay,
can that Westbrook contract, the Westbrook trade for another bad contract? Like, do we have to just? There's more, and then
I mean, what are they supposed to do?
The Chris Paul contract, like, it's just compounding.
They almost went to the finals.
You sound like you just really don't like the Houston franchise. Like, you sound like you just hate every decision that they make.
Like, they went all in, and then it didn't work, and now you looking at a team that's gonna have to tank, and you never know when they're gonna be in a position to actually win again. And you can't just leverage your future for 1 or 2 years. 2 or 3 years and ruin yourself. And that's what happened. And we can't sit here and act like it didn't
Toronto Raptors. That's all I'll say. Toronto Raptors.
At least they won a championship.
That's what I'm saying.
That's true,
what you do it.
I'm not saying
no one's good idea.
Nobody thinks it was a good idea, but at least they won a championship.
Well, to be fair, I will say this. You can't blame the current owner or the current general manager for the sins of the past one. So let's not fire him based off all the moves that Morey made. I will say that. But Victor Oladipo, it seems like, Anthony the lone wolf, you don't want to trade him, but we have some interesting destinations, whether that's the Knicks, the Mavs. I personally like the Heat. I really love the Warriors now that you brought it up. Let us know down below who you think Victor Oladipo should go to, or if he should even be traded in the first place. And like always, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. It's been SOS Discussions.